technically started when I was in college, my senior year, when I wanted to start selling pottery. And then it stopped for a while when I went to grad school. And then when I graduated from grad school, came back and started doing some consulting work without knowing it was consulting work. I just had friends or colleagues that were like, Terry, come and chat with us about this, those unpaid favors. And then someone talked to me like, Terry, you need to create your own business so that you can do this so you aren't exploited and you can make or you can charge folks for that for your services. Indigenous Millennial technically started in 2022. So it's only been 4 years, but I've had a business per se since 2014, so 12 years. It was 2 parts. The main part is educational consulting, so focusing specifically on place-based and culturally sustaining pedagogy, all the way to leadership and decolonial approaches to leadership, curriculum development, things like that. So that's the educational part. And then the other part is arts and crafts. So pottery, ceramics, 3D printing, things like that. Online. I think it was a website. I was looking to get back into pottery and did some searching. I had originally first connected with an independent potter here in Greensboro. She has her own home studio and did a cone 10 kiln, so a higher temp firing. But after a while, she had to start charging me because I was there as an apprentice. And so business got real slow, and she's like, I would have to charge you this like $250 a month. And I'm like, I can't afford that. So I stumbled upon the Forge and I've been happy to be here ever since. Mainly through the arts and crafts area where I've been able to teach classes and incorporate my own style within those classes. So still teaching the fundamentals of wheel throwing as we all teach, but being able to put my own spin on it and talk about the history of ceramics, especially here in North America, indigenous practices when doing work with your hands and being in a good state of mind, things like that. So I've been able to educate others on cultural practices when doing artwork. God, paperwork. You have so much paperwork to do to start an LLC, and then every year you got to pay just to say that you're a business. So it's the red tape, the logistics side of things, just to make sure that you are a business. But I have been very fortunate. I've got folks in my network that advocate for me in spaces where I'm not present, and I just have opportunities come my way. My friends are like, hey, I was talking to someone the other day and I mentioned you and what you do, and they would love to connect. I mean, I was just talking with a member right before this. We just so happened, I said I travel a lot for work. They asked me what I do for work. I told them what I do, and they were like, I also work for a STEM company or a science company. Let's partner. Because I told them I also do consulting, and they were like, absolutely, let's partner together. So something like that is just an amazing opportunity that helps negate all those challenges of logistics and trying to find opportunities to expand. What makes the Forge an amazing place for entrepreneurs is not just the space and resources, but the community. That is the driving force, especially for me, to continue to be here at the Forge and have my base here at the Forge, my artistic base here at the Forge. But in addition to the community, it's the ability to give back to the community, so that reciprocity is what I think makes the Forge an amazing place for entrepreneurs. So this is a piece that I made that has some cultural significance to it. Oftentimes, especially if you're familiar with ceramics, most times you don't know what you're going to make. You can come in with an idea of like, I'm going to make a set of mugs, or I'm going to make a pitcher, et cetera, et cetera. Me, I come in and I'm like, let's just see what I'll make. And sometimes I want to make a mug, and then something happens and it doesn't I didn't have a big enough piece, or I had to cut it too much, and then it turns out to be a cup. And so I decided to use some techniques to put underglaze in here and a turquoise on top. But if you look there, you'll see the turquoise here and three colors. You've got yellow, red, and black. But this is on a white background. And so those four colors, the white, yellow, red, and black, are significant colors in many indigenous communities. If you see the medicine wheel, it's that wheel that's got those four colors on it. The Lumbee tribe from North Carolina, one of our insignia is the medicine wheel. And it's a framework that each tribe has their own take on it that essentially helps us understand life. So the four areas can talk about the four directions, the four stages of life, the four sacred plants, the four sacred animals, working in those fours. And so these colors are important to me, and I've tried to include them in many of the pieces that I have. And then turquoise, there's a funny saying that says, turquoise is a Native woman's diamonds. So if you ever see Native women wearing turquoise, if it's jewelry, any type of jewelry or beading or something, that turquoise is like a diamond to us. It's a precious stone, and so in turquoise, you see a lot of turquoise across Turtle Island. So that's why I use the turquoise glaze just to add that fact on.